I know. I still get that '80s vibe from that. Like it's like a montage in the middle of like a rom-com '80s. I don't
Definitely.
know. Hey, welcome everyone to episode of Watch Super. It's been a while. It's been a while, but things have been happening the last couple of weeks. We had Labor Day, and then the beginning of football season. So I don't know. I'm just using those as excuses. Anyway, we took a break for a couple of weeks. We're back. I'm Bobby Legs, and I'm here with my co-host Clayton from the Watchdog Podcast. Clayton, good to see you, my friend. What is up? What is new? What do you got on wrist? Tell me.
Not much new. Yeah, been it's my anniversary today.
Oh, happy anniversary!
Yeah, 14 years. So
Wow.
the Tudor is the gift we got each
Yeah,
other.
that's
We're
great.
we're getting to wear a Tudor. We each paid half price. So that's our gift to each other. I guess the year 14 gift is jewelry. So it works out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
guess yeah, that's what Marissa said anyway. So I'll take her word for it.
But we just celebrate 10 years,
Nice.
and the
Congrats.
and apparently the 10-year anniversary is give your wife a Darryl Strawberry jersey because that was her favorite baseball player. So coincidentally, it was her favorite baseball player. So I gave her that jersey.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. I wish actually my wife just bought a winter hat that says "Yay Sports." So she showed me that today actually. Yeah, "Yay
that,
Sports."
that is awesome. Hey man, what do you got on wrist tonight?
I got the wearing the Air King tonight.
Very nice. And what do you have
And
on
then
your finger?
yeah, something even more cool that I just couldn't pass up. I got it at a decent price on eBay. The G-Shock ring. It's fully functional. It's a fully functional G-Shock. It has a another time zone. It has a backlight. It has a stopwatch.
Wow.
It's very impractical. I did wear it to a new client meeting, and she must have thought I was a freaking weirdo. Because I'm wearing an Aura ring now too, so I was like all blinged out on
That's
one
great.
hand with all these rings. Like, what was this guy? Some pimp or
Oh man,
something? But
that is
no,
awesome.
I'll probably never wear it. It does come with like 4 different plastic spacers to fit your
Okay.
whatever finger
Yeah,
you want to put it
that's
on.
smart. Yeah.
I haven't yet decided. I'll probably never ever wear it, but I know it's fun.
Oh,
I'm a
on the
G-Shock
pinky?
fanboy, so I kind of wanted to. They
You
were
gotta wear it on the
astronomical
pinky.
on eBay for a little while, and they've come down a little bit, so I bought one.
You gotta wear it on the pinky,
Yeah,
man. That is
yeah,
just
pinky
awesome.
ring.
That is awesome. Hey, I got a new little new watch alert. I
Oh,
dude, I am that I love that Citizen eBay store. I'm
yes.
constantly on it. And so I picked up this GMT.
Oh,
Automatic
yeah.
automatic GMT. This is the one I was talking about. And I think like a couple weeks ago, I don't know, was it during Watch Shoot? Maybe not. Maybe it was a the other stream that I do, and I think Sam was on it. I was talking about this watch, and I was like, next time it pops up on the eBay store, I'm gonna get it. And sure enough, like the next day, it was there, and for like a discount. Like it's just ridiculously like how cheap and like it's such in great shape. The only thing is, it doesn't come with the original box. It just comes with a regular, Citizen box. No big deal, but super super awesome watch. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And
I
it's
just saw
automatic.
one of those for sale on a group or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
what do those run?
I think new like 900 something or close to 1,000. And I got this like, for way like under like 450 or something like that. It was
Man.
yeah. Yeah, very happy with it. It's really there is a stainless steel version. This is more of like I don't know what kind of coating is. I don't know if it's steel. I don't think it's DLC. But
Do they do
anyway,
the Duratec on steel or is that only titanium?
um I think it's only titanium. I'm not 100% sure. The thing is with the eBay store, like I'd have to go to the Citizens website just to see what it has. The eBay store doesn't give you any information at all. It just kind of generally gives you the potential condition of what it could be when you
Yeah.
get it. Um, I'm happy with it. I love it. It's awesome. And all my Citizens have been coming from eBay, that eBay store, and it's well worth it if you're a
I need
big.
to get that link from you. I have not
Yeah, it's
been on there
official.
yet.
It's official watch store or something like that. I'll shoot you a message of
Okay.
what it's called. But yeah, just save it and then check it. Every few days
I
because
probably shouldn't.
yeah, you probably should. Anyway, let's say hello to some of the people in the chat, and then we'll jump right into
Okay.
this. Okay. Hey, Marcel,
Oh, nice.
Freak X, very nice. Hey, Nathan, good to see you. Mr. Rick is here. How you doing, Rick? Scott is wearing his 1860 today. Mr. Finney, hello, sir. Underachieving watch collector, hungry for soup. Yes, we all are. I actually had soup for dinner tonight. Watch, and I didn't. I no connection, no connection with like I was eating it, and I was like, oh, I got to stream later, and I didn't think of it like watch soup. Anyway,
I think
uh,
I had soup on Monday. Hmm.
yeah. Dib is here. He's finally home to watch one of the most riveting shows on YouTube. And congrats to Clayton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bill K. Also congratulations. Vinny, yeah, oh, the Slayer shirt. Yeah, I didn't even realize
Yes.
that's what I was wearing. Ken is checking in from Pittsburgh. Aura Ring is great. So Rick has one of
Oh,
those.
I love
So
it. Yep.
what's the deal with the Aura? Does it like track your sleep? What does it do?
Yeah, it's a activity tracker.
Okay.
It'll actually automatically pick up activities. Like if you go for a walk, it'll pick it up.
Oh,
It detects naps, it detects sleep. It'll tell you if you're stressed. Like I'm a little stressed during the day when I'm driving, and it'll
yeah.
pick that up, and it'll tell you, you're a little more stressed than you were yesterday. It'll actually give you the amount of time you're stressed. It's
Oh
low
wow.
profile. You only have to charge it once, like every 8 days, 7, 8 days. I really like it. I mean, it's a nice, yeah,
Oh, pretty cool.
yeah,
Nondescript, right?
yep. I was getting a rash from my Garmin, so my double wristing days are over. I'll wear it for running, and that's about it. But I'm not going to wear it anymore. I think I have a nickel allergy, and it's yeah,
Mm, gotcha.
getting a little too
Wayman.
much for my wrist.
Hey, Wayman, how you doing? James is here. Rich Mitch saw the title and thought you'd got Jenny up. No, I'm sorry,
Oh
bud.
no.
Oh man, I guess that's kind of like a little deceptive, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
we just put like the people that we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Anyway, sorry, Rich. But we're gonna talk about her behind her
Yes.
back. Maison is here, up and running. Greetings from the middle of the night. They do a tech and steel. Okay,
Oh.
thanks, Waylon. Um, hey, Caliber is here. Official watch deals. Thank you, James. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
name
All
of
right.
the eBay store.
I'm going on
Um,
there.
were you eating sardine soup? No, no, but
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know how that. I mean, I really like sardines. I don't know how the soup go. No,
there
no,
is
it was a
fish
minute.
soup.
There is fish soup, and I love
Yeah.
fish soup. I
Oh, I
guess it
had
depends.
chowder on Sunday. I ran a half marathon,
Chowder,
and they had chowder at the end. Yeah.
absolutely. That's gross. I mean, like
It actually it was good and salty, so it actually hit the
oh,
spot.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. Because
yeah,
I would like,
yeah.
was it New England or Manhattan?
It was like clear actually. It was a
Oh,
clear
okay,
broth. Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
which
if it
is
was like
weird because
cream,
we're in New England, but
yeah. If it was like New England clam chowder after you ran a marathon,
yeah, that'd be gross.
I keep I think about that scene in Anchorman when he's like walking the streets and he's drinking milk at a
Drinking
hot
milk.
day. Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
like yeah. Mes9 is here. NH Rick, what's up? Rick is
Hey,
overseas
buddy.
tonight.
Nice.
Nice, nice
His
overseas.
collection is
Yeah,
chef's
yeah.
kiss.
Yeah, I've either sold a watch to him or bought a watch to him. I don't know. Could it be like a blackmaid? Was it a black? I don't know. There's something. I don't know. We've had a transaction, Rick. I think once or twice, or maybe I'm just thinking of somebody else.
Much like
And
I'm with you on my anniversary, I actually met with him on Mother's Day to do a watch deal. So we're bad.
nice. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm gonna kick it off tonight.
All right.
Jenni Elle put out a video answering questions, hard hitting questions that she got on Instagram, and we're gonna go through most of them. There's a couple of things that I skipped. I'm gonna hit the ones that I found interesting. Like I said, she is answering some of the questions from my IG, and there was something catchy on the title, and that's why I picked it. And you probably could guess what it is if you think about it, if you know what the title is. But and that's for the chat as well. But first of all, why? The first question was why there's so much hate in the Rolex community. Now, she admits she doesn't see that much hate for Rolex anymore, and it has leveled out just like the prices have leveled out. She believes that we're at a point where most people are happy with what they have, right? And so they're like live and let live. She loves Rolex. We all know that. So that's no secret. And every successful brand, they need the opposition faction to balance everything out. And Clayton, I don't know if you see it, but I see it too. I just, or maybe it's just I'm not like constantly like on watch boards and all that kind of stuff. But I've seen that the hate of Rolex has kind of petered out a little bit, and I think it's because the um, I think maybe people are just used to waiting for the Rolex that they want, and maybe the wait for these watches, for most of them, not all of them, right, are not as bad as they used to be. Secondary market pricing maybe coming down a little bit more down to earth than it was a few years ago. Remember, like, in 2021, 2022, like those prices, like, were just astronomical. We were all quarantined, we were all flushed with cash, and there's a lot of spend going on. And now things have changed. The economy has changed a little bit. So I don't see as much either. How about you? Do you notice much hate?
You still see it sometimes, that they're overrated and
Mm,
still let the dealers play games. You still see
yeah,
that in like comment
yeah,
sections of
yeah, yeah,
YouTube
yeah, yeah. I think so.
videos
I agree with that.
and also recently there was that rumor that parts were made in China. And I
Yeah,
don't know if that was ever true, but I still have some local friends. I went to a meetup a couple weeks ago that were basically saying, "Oh, Rolex is made in China." I was like, they're one of the most vertically integrated
yeah,
watch brands besides Seiko. So I'm not so sure about that, but I know that's going around too, and that's probably a misconception. So you still see it. I
yeah.
don't know if I'd actually agree with that. There's less of
I
it actually.
I I feel like it's less intense though. I mean, maybe that's what or
Maybe.
maybe I'm not as tuned in anymore. I'm tuned out, but I don't feel like it's it's like especially with content wise. I mean, I don't see as much content, although I gotta admit I'm not consuming as much watch content as I used to.
Yeah.
And I know that there's still some games being played, and but I think maybe because I've been you know insulated with a group of watch collectors now for a long time, that like it's not like a Rolex obsessed. It feels like we've moved on to like different types of it's more like you buy what you like, right? And
Yeah.
so like I feel like it's just not, I don't know. Not in my circles anyway. Maybe I should clarify that. Not in my circles. I don't feel like the Rolex hate is out there as much as it used to be. James is saying regarding Rolex, I think I just have outrage fatigue. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's
Yeah.
it. Um, Rolex forums, however, seem really toxic. Okay, I just don't stick around. I just don't go to them. When I was looking at Explorer 40 last year, had it fit. Had it fit, I suspected it would have not been difficult to get himself on a list for in a reliable time frame. Yeah, I've been hearing reliable time frames.
I got an email from my AD today, and she was wondering if I was still interested in the titanium Yachtmaster.
Oh,
And I said, yeah.
that
And
was
she
a hard
said,
watch to get for a while.
she said they've only seen one,
Hmm.
but she knows I'm interested, and she said I hope to send you that email one day.
Okay.
But we've only seen one, and hopefully we will see more. And if we do, you will get it. So
Yeah, I feel like
I kind
that.
of given up on
Yeah,
it.
I feel like that's a really positive sign. I feel like
Yeah.
she wouldn't have reached out to you if she didn't think that that could happen.
It
You
seemed
know what I
like
mean?
a copy and paste part of it anyway.
Ah,
It was actually her, but because
yeah.
we sent a few emails back and forth, but it was sort
Okay.
of that just confirming your interest. But it
Okay.
did say we're working hard to get you this watch, and we
Okay.
want thanks for your enthusiasm, and we want to see you in this watch and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it was just kind of to register or to see if I was still interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I said I was, and she said, "Yeah, I want that watch on you, so we're gonna do whatever we can." So I don't know what that means,
Nice.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like a good email. Okay, moving on to the second one. Question: Is Nomos still a brand to follow in 2025? Are there other alternatives to Nomos? Now, she believes that because Nomos a simple and Bauhaus design, that it is timeless and it is a brand that will always that you would always have to follow. Um, and they're consistent. And she likes how they continue to develop, especially the club sport neomatic line. You got a world timer there, right? That's the line. That's a great
Mhm.
watch, right? Um, she says, yeah, the lug to lug is still a thing, and but they understand that they need to continue developing, and I agree with that. I mean, like I think they certainly have their style, which you either love it or you hate it, right? I mean, I'm not a huge Bauhaus fan. I love more of the club line watches, but it is kind of timeless, right? And so it can last. And you know, uh, surprising. I mean, the second part of the question was, is there another brand that's similar to them that you would follow? And she picked Resonance, which
I didn't
kind
get
of
that.
just like, yeah, it just
Yeah,
totally. I didn't understand the connection. First of all, totally different price point, right? And I think maybe she was trying to tie it in because of maybe the simplicity of the dial. That was just a real strange tie-in.
I agree.
I didn't. I don't think she. It felt like, and then there's a couple times in the video where I felt like she was like she wasn't into what she was doing. And I
Yeah,
don't think she put too much thought on this. I mean, like for me, the first thing I think of is like Young Hands, right? I
right.
mean, like it's an alternative, maybe an affordable alternative to Nomos because of that Bauhaus, and then you can go further down the road and figure out some other brands that could be an alternative. But I was thinking Young House. I was thinking of a couple other places, but not Resonance was not on my bingo card. Was it on your bingo card?
No, and she called it re-essence, I think.
Yeah, and BS. I know. I didn't. Yeah, yeah,
I actually love how she says Rolex, Rolex,
yeah,
Rolex. Yeah,
yeah.
that's super cute. I
Hey,
mean, I feel like Nomos is having like a crazy good year.
yeah, me
With
too.
the hype, maybe it's because I've never been interested in that Neomatic World Timer got me interested, but I
Yeah,
feel like they had the affordable hit of Watches and Wonders with that watch. Like I feel like they're back.
yeah. No,
This is the
I think I
yeah,
like everything that they're doing
yeah,
this year. So, just a curious question first of all, and then just like an interesting response
yeah.
from Jenny afterwards. Now, here's the one that got me. Cartier Roadster. I love it, says the person who asked the question. You? And she was an emphatic no.
I know.
And this like broke my heart. I mean,
I
like,
knew this is
because
why you picked
I saw it
it.
on the thumbnail, right? I saw it on the thumbnail of the
Yeah,
Roadster. And she loves Cartier, but the Roadster is a no-no. The crown design is horrendous and unbalanced, and she likes the Boulogne Blue, but and she likes obviously the other models, but no to the Roadster. And you know what? Look, I mean, I love the Roadster because I just love that era, that 90s, early 2000s era, the neo vintage uh, tonneau shaped look that you get from the Richelieu of GP, from Frank Muller, the Casablanca, and some of the other Frank Mullers that he has at the Curvex. Um, so for me, it was just like a little bit of a gut shot. Um, but I mean, maybe the Roadster is not for everybody.
yeah.
How dare her? How dare her? I wrote a comment. I
Did you?
commented on the video. Yeah, yeah. I was easy on her. I was easy on her.
You have
The
no
the
taste.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um.
I
Anyway,
love the way it looks. Like I said, I
uh
didn't like the way it wears, but maybe I'll have to try it on again sometime.
they're so cool. I
Yeah,
mean, like,
they look
look,
cool as hell.
look. I mean, I mean, I think you have a bigger wrist size than me. I'm six and
Mhm.
three quarters. I think you're like 7 or something like that.
Yep,
Anyway,
right around 7.
like I wouldn't even bother with a three-hander. Like you gotta go Chrono. You
Yeah.
gotta go Chrono XL. That's what I would do. Um, but and one day hopefully I will. Okay, 4. Rolex Daytona, ceramic bezel or steel bezel? And she was like ceramic bezel. Makes more sense. It lasts longer, and it doesn't scratch. And here, this I part. I don't know how you feel about this. Parted ways with her on this one, and I'll tell you why. I could pinpoint the reason the day that I was like, oh, I like steel bezel Daytonas more than the ceramic bezel. I was at Watchbox or 1916 company with a bunch of other friends, some people here and on the chat. We were there. It was like April of 2023. 2022 or 2023. And we had like a little bit of a tour. I mean, we were some like, we were like Wolfgang was there, like it was a big crowd, right? And
Like
one of
swingers or something. Did you all drive separately?
yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, there's like four or five cars. Um, and oh man, I forget the guy's name. The one that is the Targaryen. With the
Mm,
blonde hair. What's his name?
I
Oh,
can't think of it.
he's one of the salespeople, and he's on the videos. Anyway, I'm sure somebody will put him in the chat. He was wearing a black dial Daytona with a steel bezel, and I was like, wow, that looks
Yeah.
so good. That is my favorite Daytona. You know, how do you feel about that?
I am for any bezel that takes on character or wear like aluminum bezel or
Hmm.
steel. Um, Not always a big ceramic bezel fan, but I will say the white Daytona with the black ceramic bezel does look
It
pretty
does look
good.
good.
Yeah,
That does
yeah,
look good. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see here. I know she did some other stuff about like content and stuff like that. I wasn't really
I
interested
felt like
in.
she was confused on that question. They asked her like what her the most successful content is, but she didn't talk about her content. She talked about watch restoration videos as
Yeah, I
her
skipped that one.
successful. I felt like the person was asking what her most successful content is, but
Yeah.
maybe I was wrong.
She went on into address a reverse Gata watch and a grab any. What does Gata stand for? It's like it's pretty much an everyday watch,
Go
right?
anywhere, do
Go
anything.
do anything watch, and she was like, a reverse Gata watch, any Jacob and Co, which I thought was a great answer.
Yeah.
Absolutely, totally, reverse Gata watch. There are pieces and they're not watches. Next big thing in watches. Feel like she mailed it in here. I mean, I know it's not like she was asked on the spot, but she picked it. And she said she wish she knew. She says that she thinks that brands will actually have a lot more fun with watches, bringing in a lot more pop culture. I feel like they already do that. They're starting to do that already. Um, um, she likes what Swatch is doing with the moon watches and then all the different colored dials and whatnot. So I feel like um, and she didn't really have a good answer for that one. It is kind of like a hard thing to answer, like what's the
Yeah.
next new thing in watches. I'd be interested, and I don't know if you've put any thought into this one. Um, I would like to see some more technology, like still have like your run of the mill and extraordinary run of the mill mechanical timepieces, but like bring in more technology with even if it's possible, even more different materials. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of like carbon and all that kind of stuff and ceramics and whatnot. I'd like to see some more of that. How about you? What would you like to see more of?
What I like to see and what I think are going to happen are probably two different things. I'm with you, but I think there's with the way the watch market is and the way things are going, I think there's going to be almost no innovation for a while. I think you're
All
just
right,
going to
man.
see different dial
Different
colors.
style colors,
You're
yeah.
going to see characters
I
on watches, SpongeBob, Snoopy,
Yeah,
whatever is
I
going
think
to
you're right.
sell. Like I think that's what you're going to get, unfortunately, for a while anyway, until things settle down and maybe this tariff situation gets figured out. But
Yeah,
until then, I'm not sure you're going to see anything other than, Tudor doing a bunch of different dial colors of things and
yeah, yeah,
other brands too. So
yeah. No, I
maybe I'm
think
wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
yeah, and it, yeah, at a certain point, like how much further can you innovate?
Right.
You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
think you
So,
can. I think there's stuff you can do.
yeah, yeah.
What do you
I
think of
hope
those Zenith chronographs with the furniture box? Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess. Eh, eh. Anyway, uh, the biggest mistake yet, and this one was a little bit of a sad one, right? I mean,
Hmm.
she got a watch from her grandfather. It was a vintage ricotta, um, a rose gold case, and it had a lot of scratches. And she thought it'd be a good idea for purposes of a video to get a polishing cloth. And she ended up like buffing out those scratches, and she just felt terrible because it pretty much removed any story that was there by her grandfather. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so and the payoff wasn't. I mean, she did it for a video, and it's just like it wasn't like it was not even like closely worth it. I guess she didn't realize that that could be a possibility what she did. Um, yeah, I think when I think about like the biggest mistake, it's probably getting rid of some watches that I wish I never gotten rid of. That's probably the extent of that.
Yeah.
Do you have a big mistake?
I think about early mistakes I made, probably like a little sloppy with bracelet and strap changes. Like I
Yeah.
remember the
Mhm.
bracelet would come off through the front and it would actually scratch like the top of the lugs on the dial
Oh, yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember I did that a lot and I didn't even realize it. And like, oh shoot, that kind of thing. But yeah,
yeah,
probably selling, maybe being a little too premature with selling some things. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
but not buying a few things that you wanted,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Hey, you're up. And
Should we
this
catch
one,
up on the did we catch up on the
did we
chat?
get was anybody saying anything? Jenny Elle isn't a fan of the Cartier Roadster. Say it ain't so. Christopher Maltasani would be heartbroken. That's
Oh yeah,
oh,
he wore one, right?
yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Julie, Jenny Elle's a Rolex fangirl. I've sold a fair amount of watches now, but so far no regrets. Like the tattoos, no regrets. Yeah, regrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcel loves the roaster. Yeah, I know Marcel. He's on my side on this one. I would have, I would, however, get a Resonance in a hot second if I had like 20K. I don't know if I would. I could see you getting a Resonance. I mean, that's kind of
They're
quirky
pretty dang
enough.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're dang cool.
Yeah.
I'm in a Slack group and there was a guy selling like a really limited model and
Ah,
I still had the Moser I think and I still had like a few more high priced watches. I was like, what can I do to get that watch? Because it was ultra cool and I think it was very limited. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Now, because
yeah.
what if something happened? I wouldn't even know where to start, like getting that serviced, and it'd be
Yeah.
really expensive. So I guess it's something I don't need to own. I can just admire.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. All right. Next one up. The art of the time best versus worst place. The art of time. What? The art of time best and worst places to buy watches in 2025. Clayton, you're up.
Yeah, this channel came up on my algorithm. I don't know. He's a watch dealer.
Mm,
I gathered by watching the video. So yeah, he goes through about 5 different marketplaces. It's a lot of talking. So I'm just going to stop after like the first one, which is eBay, and then we'll discuss. Sound good?
yeah.
Okay. So, Christian from the Art of Time. Some of the world's biggest watch scams happen on platforms that collectors trust the most. He has seen collectors lose big money in a single click. Buying from the wrong platform could cost you thousands of dollars or even worse, your whole collection. Art of Time, his store, has traded on multiple platforms, and he is giving us the reality of how they work fees, scams, and hidden advantages. I got a lot of papers here. eBay, one of his favorite places to buy and sell watches for many years. If you follow the rules, stay in the parameters, and you buy watches over $2,000, you don't have much to worry about at all. I am a little leery of eBay. I know you buy on there all the time.
Mm,
I've never quite trusted it. This actually made me feel pretty good about eBay. The biggest headache is returns, and he talks about a lot about through as a seller. He's obviously a seller, but he's bought watches too. The biggest headache is returns. He loves that it's easy to list and relist a watch. The fee pricing is pretty straightforward 15% on the first $1,000, 6.5% on $1,001 to 7,500, and then 3% above that.
mhm,
Then there's the authenticity guarantee. It's with Stolen Company. He has mixed feelings. If a watch is flagged, there's really no communication with the buyer whatsoever. Uh, and sometimes the flag is for something microscopic, like a little blemish that you can't
mm,
really see without a loop, or even something as simple as a dented cardboard box, like that the
mm,
watch comes in.
mm.
eBay slaps a red flag on it, and then buyers almost always back out. He's lost 3 deals that way. Every return he's had on eBay came from the authentication process, but not being inauthentic. It was this kind of simple red flag kind of stuff instead. eBay customer service is solid, easy to connect with, and protected him against major scams. He sold a Tudor Black Bay Chrono for 5K. The buyer kept it for weeks and then tried to return it, saying it wasn't as described. Then they sent bogus photos. Christian told eBay to make sure it was in the same condition that it was when he sold it if it came back to authentication. The buyer then filed a credit card fraud case. That goes through the bank, not eBay. So eBay refunded him the money, and then he got the Tudor back from authentication. He was in the clear, and he kept the watch, so it worked out for him that time. He got his money back and the watch back. Negotiations can be painful. You get low ball offers. I've both gotten those when I'm selling on eBay and given them to sellers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes they say yes, and you think
Sometimes they
it's
do.
crazy. Dealers, he said, will definitely lowball you on eBay. It's also a marketing tool. He welcomes people to reach out off platform if they see a listing. They allow vids on eBay, which he really likes, live selling, which he thinks is really cool. Anything under 2K doesn't go to the authenticator. Anything over does. And then payment to delivery is usually about 4 to 5 days. It goes to the authenticator first, and then it gets to you. But if they send it out in a timely manner, it usually takes 4 to 5 days. The whole process, and he likes that.
I do want to make one correction.
Sure.
It's true that anything under 2,000 doesn't go to an authenticator. However, you can pay $80 and it will go through the authenticator. If you choose it. Which you didn't mention.
Even if it's under 2K?
If it's under 2K,
okay.
you can pay $80. Now you got to, if you got a $500 watch, you're not going to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
yeah. And he said if a watch is a little over 2K, don't haggle so it goes below 2K. You're removing your only safeguard, right? He said if a Rolex is that low, there's probably a reason. Before I move on to Chrono 24, anything stand out to you besides that, the authentication thing?
No, I mean that pretty much tracks, from my experience. It is a bummer when you're selling and then you have a buyer, return it for some bogus reason. I have no returns listed, like I don't accept returns. However, if they complain and say that the description is not accurate, like you have no choice. You pretty much have to take it back. And for me, like I was like the situation where the guy, the watch had a strap that was some material, and the guy asked me if that was a leather strap, and it wasn't. Right, it's not a leather strap. But when his argument was when he got it, it felt like a leather strap. Like that's not what his question did not ask. It was like, is it a leather strap? Like it wouldn't even have thought to me that it would feel like a leather strap, right? You know what I mean? And so eBay was like ready to take a side, so I had to refund him his money. I got the watch back. I didn't sell it, but
Yeah. Yeah. The one bummer I remember about selling on eBay is people will commit to buy and then they never go through with it.
That's happened. Yeah.
And then I think you can actually get dinged if you like terminate the transaction as the seller. So like a couple times people committed to buying and then never paid.
But in general, overall, I've had my experience is very positive using eBay.
Cool. Have you bought more or sold more?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's probably I would have to say, since I can't decide one way, it has to be pretty even.
Yeah.
It has to be pretty even. Yeah.
I bought this ring, actually, the G-Shock ring on eBay, and went well, but went smoothly. I bought it from our pal Casual Watch Talk, Sam.
Sam, nice. Gotta let him know.
Yeah, I have to reach out to him and say, hey, I bought your G-Shock ring.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Chrono 24. Yeah. He's been on Chrono 24 for a few years. He likes it. He likes having his inventory there. His rep is great. He's always found the staff very friendly, but he hates the platform, though. It's been around since 2003, and with that head start, you think they'd be innovating, but instead, he feels like they are riding the early internet wave of being a luxury watch marketplace. kind of outdated. He feels a
Yeah.
little bit. He says the dealer fees, unlike eBay, the dealer fees are tiered, brand dependent, and billed in euros. As a US based dealer, he'd prefer USD for that kind of thing. All right. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
Um, there are fees packages for dealers as well. With over 1,000 listings, it's 2,100 2,200 euros per month. And
Wow.
the cost climb the more you list. So yeah, it sounds like there are packages for dealers who have a lot of watches on there. But if you want over 1,000 listings, it's like 2,200 euros a month just for the
Yeah.
listings. So
Yeah.
um, you're I don't know, you're more of a marketing thing at that point. I'm not sure how well you're doing if you have that many listings with that kind of payout every month.
Right.
Payout is slower than eBay. He said for dealers it's about 7 days. For private sellers it's about 2 weeks. He negotiated down to 3 days with his rep for payment, but it shouldn't have to take relationship building to get there. In his opinion, he thinks that's too long. They do the escrow system where it kind of gets held 2 weeks. The cash does before it goes to the seller, just in case the buyer has a complaint. Buyers obviously like that because they have a little grace period there if they have a problem with the watch. Sellers don't like it. They see it as cash flow being tied up. Returns are rough with international sales. Customs nightmare. And authentication is optional. Policing of fake and misrepresented watches is inconsistent. This kind of surprised me a little bit, to this level. He said some
Yeah.
dealers don't even own the watches they list. They're like phantom listings, or they'll source them only after the buyer pays, like Joma Shop sometimes
Right.
does. He
Yep.
said Chrono 24 tried to fix this by requiring dealers to have a minimum of 50 listings, but the bad egg still found a workaround. It is polluted with shell listings. He's had people ask him if his listings are real because they've been burned before.
Mm.
Then there's like the Chrono Pulse evaluation. You can put your collection on there to see what it's
Yeah.
worth.
Yep.
He said that's flawed because they are pulled from their own listing. If there are a bunch of fake or phantom watches on there, the data is also fake. So he said if you're valuing your collection off of that data, it's almost certainly high and wrong. He said Chrono 24 is great to see what's out there, but the prices are often padded for fees and international shipping costs. But he said if you see his listings on there, reach out on Google and he'll do business with you direct. This was a bit of a veiled advertisement for
Yeah.
his store, which
Yeah.
I still like the information though, so I looked past it. But yeah, I like
Yeah.
the information. Anything stand out to you about Chrono 24 there?
Um, I'm not surprised from what look. I've never bought or sold on Chrono. It's just never. It feels like when I've sold, like I already had success where I was selling that. Like I didn't try it. Now I've had some friends who try to sell on Chrono, 24, and it wasn't much success for them. I use it as a reference, right?
Me too.
And I'll look to see what's out there. Inevitably, I'll see the same watch listed somewhere else, and maybe because of the fees that they charge in the other platform, it's a little bit cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, so, um, yeah, yeah, I would imagine as a seller, Chrono 24 would be tough because of all like the international stuff. You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
and like all the returns and whatnot. Um, yeah, I mean that's other than that, I mean nothing else that really,
yeah.
struck me. It was pretty much what I expected.
Yeah, the number of phantom and fake listings on there. See, that's something like I had a preconceived notion like eBay. For some
Yeah.
reason, I always thought eBay was like that, but it turns out Chrono 24 might even be worse.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I totally agree. It's you see a lot more stock imagery on Chrono 24,
yeah,
which tips me for maybe I'm wrong, but for me that feels like that's a little bit of a red flag when I see that because
yeah,
it
for
just
sure.
feels like, at least with eBay, right? Yes, there's some listings that'll have stock images, but I feel like they're not as prevalent as they are in
Right.
Chrono 24.
But it's also kind of tricky because you can do like that white out the background thing.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you're not always sure like if they're real
Yeah.
or not. Because I
Yeah.
can probably
Yeah.
make my photos look, kind semi-professional with that
Yeah.
white background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's like like I'll tell you what, like if it's like a pre-owned watch and you're giving me stock photos, that's a big. I'm not even.
right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Unless you're like Citizens page, right? Where I mean, those are returns, and I know it's Citizen. We know it's Citizen, right? You know what I mean? It's definitely Citizen. So that, and they give me stock image, that I can live with that, because they have a great return policy. But yeah, if you don't have, if it's pre-owned and you give me stock images, I'm not interested.
I bought one watch from Chrono 24, my the Citizen
Yeah,
Chronomaster from a dealer in Japan, brand new. Great experience. He got the watch to me in like a day
amazing,
from
amazing.
Japan.
Yeah,
Yep, great communication the whole way through. Gave me a deal on there. The duty customs was not very much at all. I think for a $3,000 watch, it was like $100. Yeah, it was great. I was very happy with it.
Rick is saying here, as a private seller, it's a great option. Lower fees, escrow protection, and private sellers don't have to accept a refund for BS series. Okay, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I've never sold on there. Never put anything on there.
Chrono 24 is great to
Yes,
see if insulting low offers works anymore.
yes, I like that. Make an offer tab.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I think as a buyer, it's not. I mean, like, if you vet somehow the seller, I mean, it's probably a good experience overall. I just, as a seller, I don't know. I mean, I know Rick has had some success, but NH Rick, but yeah, but you have to deal with low offers,
Yeah.
which pretty much happens everywhere. He's right.
All right, moving on here. Facebook sits in a weird middle ground between wholesale and retail. Chrono 24 and eBay are retail. Wholesale is dealer to dealer. You see a lot of dealer to dealer stuff on Facebook groups like
Mm,
Moda.
hmm.
They're a mix of both,
Yeah,
with dealers and just private citizens on
yeah.
there. Dealer chats in these groups where you find the best prices, he said. There's lots of redundancy. You see the same watches over and over, but deals can close quickly. Misrepresentation is common on Facebook groups.
Mm,
Watches are overhyped, damage is underplayed, and sometimes you don't even find this out until after it's shipped. Marketplace is the worst, he said.
mm,
Tons of scams and copyright crackdowns. You can't even fully spell out the brand names. Rolex is RLX.
that's
They'll
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, I see on like a lot of those groups, they'll say Omega, but they'll leave out the E. You know it's
yeah,
Omega, but it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
spelled out.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you see that a lot. Photos have to be blurred. If you said if you buy on marketplace, security has to be paramount. Meet at a police station
Yeah.
or a public place. Verify their ID before meeting. You're not just buying the watch. You're buying the dealer. You ever buy a watch in person from a stranger or sell a watch to a stranger? You ever meet somebody in like a parking lot or
I
something?
I don't recall doing that. I wouldn't. Marketplace. I've gone on Marketplace a few times to look for watches. I've never seen anything that. Okay, now the other Facebook groups has a different story. I have sold and bought watches off of Facebook groups, like specific, like the Seiko group, or like specific groups where like you can follow the members of the group, like with their posts and whatnot, like throughout the years, and you have a sense, okay, this is kind of legit,
Right.
or I have a good feeling, not that it's kind of legit, that it is legit, and you have a good feeling of doing that with. So, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, buyer beware and be careful. But I can't say that it's been a bad experience. I've had good experience. Marketplace. I mean, I bought other things on Marketplace and sold other things on Marketplace, but it's just, for me, it's just not never been like a place to find watches.
Yeah. I feel like earlier, 5 years ago, I think I bought a G-Shock on
Okay.
Marketplace and it was
Yeah.
totally legit. Now I went on there the other day just to see what it's like and feel like there's a lot of scams on there,
Yeah.
man. Just
Yeah.
yeah. But I remember I did sell on there an Invicta Pro Diver. I early when I first started collecting, I think my wife bought me one from TJ Maxx. She went there and they had one there, and I listed it for sale when I was kind of done with it. And
Yeah.
this young guy reached out, and I met him at a Lowe's parking lot, in the middle of the day. So it was
Wow.
cool. But he was starting a new job, and he needed a nice watch. And he was so excited. The younger guy, he was like, "I love it. I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow, my first day." So that warmed
That's
my heart. I
awesome.
hope he's still wearing it. I hope he's still wearing it. That was awesome. Yeah, but that was a positive meeting a complete stranger in a parking lot experience I had.
Yeah. Yeah, marketplace more so a great place to selling a rocking chair. Absolutely, I would never
Right.
buy it. That's
No, no.
well said. Well said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was marketplace is like shopping for a spouse at Hooters. Okay,
Exactly.
okay, fair enough.
Uh, all right, so we'll finish up here.
Yeah.
Instagram, X, LinkedIn. People can find you through these accounts. A
Mhm.
famous doctor reached out to him on Instagram and became a repeat customer,
Mm,
buying watches from him. Putting your face and voice out there builds trust. I think you've probably used Instagram to sell watches because you have a channel,
yeah.
and you're more likely than not going to scam somebody because you are out there. You're a public
Right.
figure, right?
Right, right,
So
of
to
course.
speak, more or
I
less.
mean I mean, like, that and that's an interesting point, and a good reminder. Like, when I've ever sold stuff, and people are asking me about legitimacy, I'm like, "Here's my channel.
Yeah.
This is me." You
If
know what
I
I mean?
screw
Like,
you over, feel
you can
free.
write. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. That's been a
Make it
selling
go
point at
viral.
times. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Totally. Um, he said if a seller won't do a FaceTime with you and the watch, that's a major red flag.
Mhm.
You should have every right to ask them to
Yeah.
send a video of the watch and prove that they have it.
Right,
Because I
right.
think that happens sometimes too. It's a long game reaching out to sellers through these Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. But don't hesitate to reach out to sellers on these platforms. I think it's a nice way for them to do direct business and not pay the fees on other sites like we talked about. And then five, Reddit. It's the only place he's ever been personally scammed.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of fake IDs and stolen
Mhm.
references and pictures run rampant. Once your info is out there, it can be weaponized against you. And he puts Watch You Seek and a bunch of other forums in the same bucket. He said the relevance is fading fast for these. It's a certain older demographic that uses these that maybe got into the internet when it first came out, and they're still on these forums. He doesn't think there's a whole lot of newer, younger collectors on there. I'm not on really any of the forums, so I'm not sure about that. But then he plugs his stuff, and
Yeah.
that's where I was like, oh, that's kind of a bummer that this whole
Yeah.
video was a plug. But still, I thought the information was pretty
Yeah.
good overall. Yeah.
I mean, I think, his point about Chrono 24 being first to market with this kind of like a style of selling and not really developing the platform, can be said exactly with Watch You Seek. Watch You Seek is brutal. It's brutal to navigate. Although I've had success selling watches there before and buying watches, I've also had success. Not so much success selling watches. Well, no, I've sold a couple watches on Reddit and buying watches. I've never really ran into a problem. Maybe it sounds like I dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Um, with Reddit, because and there is no barrier to entry with Reddit, right? Other than, it does help to have um, transactions, like, number, an enumerated next to your name. At least with Watch You Seek, you kind of have to like have like 100 posts before you can
Yeah.
put, something for sale there. So that kind of, I guess, helps bet. I mean, who knows? I mean, now you got bots just put, right, post for you, and get there that way. But Watch You Seek. I mean, it's an old style platform, and it's going away. I don't know if it's going away. It's just I've had so much success lately selling things through eBay while simultaneously listing on the other ones. I'm just like an eBay guy now, and I rather not because of the fee. Like, I'd rather like bypass the fee, of course.
Yeah.
But it's really the most exposure, that you can get out there. You know.
And you can usually get away with putting a little higher price too
Well,
because
yeah,
of the fees.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
the fees, and
Yeah.
and plus, not for nothing, but I feel like um most of the time that eBay buyer is not as savvy, meaning that they're not aware per se that there's other places to buy these timepieces, like a Watch You Seek, like a Reddit, where maybe the price is a little bit lower because the seller doesn't have to pay or figure that into their listing price, the
Right.
fee associated, right? So yeah, yeah.
I definitely get
Not to
that.
say like, we're out to scam. It's just that the price is the price. You can accept it
Yep.
or not. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
And I mean, I always filter and look at like what things are actually selling for, not what they're listed for. And you can see like sometimes a deal is worked out or best offer accepted or something
Yeah,
like that. So
yeah.
I think there are some savvy people on there, but yeah, I think you're right for the most part.
What's the deal with John P and his platform?
Oh yeah, chrono grabs.
Yes, I mean, is it like? I mean, I think
I think
I
it's
went on it a couple times.
no fees, I believe
Yeah,
is his thing. Yeah.
yeah, sure, sure. I mean, like, look, I mean, like, I like I said, I'll go on eBay for certain things, but like, if I was gonna go for like something like a little more high end, I'd probably, I mean, where I look is like Del Rey, um, toppers, exquisite. Like, I feel uh, um, that's where I would go to over something like a John Peace platform or
Yeah.
Corona 24. You know what I mean? Like, I have my spots that I just feel.
I've never
Um,
even looked at his platform though. I will look at it, see
I
what's
was
all
on there
going
once, and
on.
there was not much on there, but
Yeah.
I think he just had started it. I don't know what that. I mean, this is like months ago. This is like
Yeah.
so like I don't know where he's at with that now. But maybe it's worth a shot.
I don't want to give the details, but I had a not I don't know. It ended up being fine, but I don't think I'll ever sell a watch to Del Rey again.
Yeah.
I just yeah, yes. I'm not
Well,
even gonna say what happened because it was fine, but it was a little I don't know. Left me with a
yeah,
bad taste in my mouth.
yeah. I mean, like I don't know the details. Maybe you did, and tell me at one point and I forgot. But like I know like um Federico is just bottom dollar. Like I mean, like he's just
It wasn't that, it was something
oh
worse.
yeah, or something
Yeah.
worse. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had experience like trying to sell something or sending it to him. I was trying to sell something to him, and it's just like, oh, it's like, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, like
Yeah.
I understand like how, like in a couple of videos before when he was talking about tariffs, how most of his stuff is coming from outside the country,
Yeah.
and maybe he can package stuff deals up, and it's a lot easier, and he can get the price point that he wants from that. But it's just like if you go, and like look, other people have different experiences, but it's always been like really really low the offers I
I
get.
mean, I think that was the for a while there when things got bad, I think he was one of the only guys actually paying cash.
Yeah,
So,
there
it's
was
like,
that
"Hey,
point.
take it or leave it,"
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess that's his thing.
yeah.
I know a lot of people were a lot of, like, Topper and stuff, they weren't paying cash at all, they were just taking trades.
Remember when
So
Crown Caliber was taking it was paying
oh my
cash? Oh
god, yeah,
man,
that was the
that was a gold mine.
glory days, yeah, golden age. I sold my when I wanted a Submariner, I sold my 39 millimeter Explorer to them. That it was when the 39 got discontinued. I
Yeah,
think they gave me 10K for it, which is
amazing,
ridiculous for the
amazing.
214270.
Yeah,
I was like, "How are they gonna make," and it was actually
no
dinged
wonder,
up too. I
no
banged
wonder.
it around. Yeah, and it was not in great shape. So they gave me that offer, and then I sent it in. I was like, "No way they're gonna pay me that once they see
Yeah,
the condition." They didn't even take any money off of it at all. They just paid it
amazing,
to me. And
amazing.
you wonder why they're out of business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, hey man, we did it. We did it.
Yeah, hey, we
It was
did.
good to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
The watch soup
Get back
horse.
in the bowl.
Get back in the bowl.
The
Um,
Ladle Legion.
yeah, the late Legion. Hey, anything coming up on the podcast?
Yes, yes, I am slow. I'm hopefully going to stay awake and edit it now. Mr. Dirk Werning of the Dirk Werning
Yes,
Knife YouTube channel.
Dirk,
We had a great chat. He's had a
best.
challenging health year.
I
I don't
know.
know if
I heard.
everybody knows that, but
Yeah.
he talks all about that and sort of how it's affected his stance on collecting. So yeah,
Oh, I can't wait
I
to
have
listen.
that coming. Yep.
Awesome, awesome. Anyway, guys, hey, you guys have a good rest of the week. I know I'm going to be watching some football tomorrow night for my Washington Commanders,
Yeah, go Commanders,
and
beat the
yeah,
pack, especially
and
after what
then
they did to the Lions.
yeah, I'll try to I'll talk to them. I'll try to
All right, thank you. Yeah,
say
give a
tell
pep
them, hey,
talk.
win this one for Clayton. Hey guys, have a great rest of the week. Clayton, have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you guys next week with another episode of Watch Soup. Take
Thank you
care.
guys. Thanks, chat.